one more minute. If you guys want to start just in a comfortable seated position, so whatever works for you works, right? So if you've never done yoga before or you can't get to the floor, you can even do this in a chair. We'll do some stuff. We'll do a little bit of twisting at the end, and we'll have a couple minutes of asana if you know what that is. I'm going to try and get to my spot to make sure you guys can see me. So cross-legged is fine, Indian style, whatever you want to call it. You can also stack your heels in front of you. You can do it. 2 heels and a hip crease, which I can't do, but 2 heels and a hip crease, or you can just have your legs out in front if all that bothers your knees, or you can sit in a chair, which is perfectly fine. Again, no socks, no shoes if you've never done this before, preferably a yoga mat, and you'll find out why if you have socks on. It's just your feet might slide a little bit in some of the poses. So we're going to start with some just general breathing, focusing. We'll move through some gentle spine movements, and then we'll do, I'm a firm believer in sun salutations, so we'll flow through a couple sun salutations. Then if we have time, we'll do the warriors, 1, 2, possibly 3. And then we'll do a couple twisting, maybe a hip thing at the end, and then we'll settle back into Savasana, which might sound like a lot, but hopefully we'll get through it all. So just to start, wherever you're at, think about lengthening your spine. So by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Sandi Davis. I'm gonna let some more people into the meeting here. I work full-time in the fitness center. My main job responsibility is actually the group exercise classes, and I've been teaching classes in all capacities for lots of years. So that's kind of my full-time job, and I also am an adjunct professor for kinesiology and sport. Okay, so again, sitting position, however it works. Oh, and there's another person. Eyes closed. What we're going to try to do for the next couple minutes is just focus on your breathing, right? So if you can find a smooth breath, ideally through your nose, that's the best. In and out, nice and smooth. Hands are, if you're cross-legged, palms up or palms down on your knees. Basically, whatever makes your shoulders feel better is where I like to start. As you breathe, you can do a quick check-in of how you're feeling this morning. Most of us probably have a little bit of anxiety going into this next semester. Completely understandable under the circumstances. If you're anything like me, you've noticed kind of a buildup of anxiety over the last 10 months with COVID and other things in life in general. So this is just a time for you to check in to see how your body's feeling. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. So the crown of the head is going to reach up towards the sky. And lengthen the spine, creating space between each vertebrae. And then as you exhale, don't lose that length, but keep the length and just try to relax around the length. So the inhales, we lengthen, crown of the head up towards the sky. And exhales, we relax a little bit. Good. Couple more smooth breaths, in and out, nice and easy. So wherever you're at, fingertips go to the floor next to you. If you're in the chair, hands just will relax down to your side. Keeping that length in the spine, you're just going to walk the fingertips as far away from you as possible. Keep that length and then drop the chin towards the chest. Couple breaths here. Good. Take one ear towards the shoulder, doesn't matter which side you go towards first. Stretching into the shoulder, across the neck.
Hey, babe. Come here, look at my picture that I have on Zoom.
And other side. Couple breaths. Good. Chin back down towards the center. Slowly
Second
back
from
up, come back in, roll.
next to
I
the.
see
Okay.
you a happy person.
Oh, do I have
Looks
this?
like a pretty girl.
Good, now we're gonna do a gentle twist. So length of the spine is important on the twist, not how far you rotate. If you're cross-legged, both hands go to a knee. If you're sitting, same thing, both hands to one knee. Keep the length here. If this is good for you, you can stay here. If you want, you can take that hand and put it behind your hip and help rotate. Head is the last thing to turn. Try to keep both hips square on the floor. Don't lift off a hip just so you can roll farther in your twist. Keep that length. Harder to breathe and twist. Good, slowly come back to the center. From the bottom up, we try to rotate and twist. Good, hands to the other knee or other side. Lengthen first. Then if you want that hand behind the hip, you can do that. Shoulders stay down as you rotate from the bottom up. Breathe. And we slowly rotate back to the center. Good, now we're gonna switch legs. So if you've never done yoga before, you might not know, but you are probably lopsided. One side is most definitely probably tighter than the other. I am for sure, my right side's a lot tighter than my left. So you're just gonna rotate and put the other foot in the front. From here, you're gonna sit up nice and tall again. Hinge forward at the hips. So just lean forward, try to remember, keep a long flat back. And then when you can't go any farther, you can stay here or you can walk the hands out and relax forward over the legs. Good, use your hands for support, walk yourself back up and find hands and knees or table. So if you have a yoga mat and you know you have bad knees, you can roll up the mat for a little extra cushion if you need to, or you can roll it in from the side. We're gonna start with a flat back here. So hands are right underneath the shoulders, knees are right underneath the hips. We're gonna start the movement at the base of the spine. So as you inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly towards the floor, keep the arms pushing away from you and lift the chin. Your choice to leave your toes tucked under or flat. On the exhale, round from the bottom up. Again, push the flare away from you, drop the chin. Deeper out of the lungs. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly. The shoulder blades are gonna slide down the back as you lift the chin. Exhale to tuck it around. So you're gonna move with your breath, not mine, not your significant others or your dogs if they're laying next to you, right? You're gonna move with your own breath. The best thing for you to do is kind of shut your eyes and just get lost in that motion for a couple breaths. Pull that navel back in towards the spine as you exhale. Squeeze the air out of the lungs. Leads right back into a nice smooth inhale. One more time, one more inhale, one more exhale. Then find a neutral spine, so long from the tip of the head to the tailbone. Good, we're gonna take one hand, place it under the face. Inhale, reach the other arm up towards the sky. On the exhale, that hand goes underneath, and you're gonna put your cheek on the floor. Couple options while you're here. You can stay right here, you do not need to move. If you want, you can take the hand that's on the floor, reach it up to the sky. You can also take it across the back. A little more work for that shoulder. Or if you want, you can take it up by your ear, reaching the arm up towards the top of your mat. Try all three, see which one works. Breathe. Don't lose your breath. Keep that smooth breath in and out. One more breath. When you're ready, hand back in front of the face. You're going to use that hand and push, reach the arm back out through and up on an inhale. Hands reach away from each other. and then back up the mat. We'll do the other side. Inhale, reach that arm up. On the exhale, take it through, palm up, cheek on the mat. Same positioning with that hand wherever you went on the other side. Wherever you went on the other side, same thing on this side. Good, couple more breaths, nice and smooth. Relax into the stretch if you can. Hand back in front of the face. Push and reach. All the way, hands apart. And hand back down. You're gonna tuck your toes under. And if you can, you're gonna lift off the knees, walk your hands back, and relax forward into a forward fold. So my knees are slightly bent. If your hands can't get to the floor, don't worry about it. If you want, you can pedal your legs out. So push one heel and to the floor, switch to the opposite side. I feel that up into the hips. Bend the knees. Place your hands on your thighs. Push and roll it all the way to the top. Nice and easy, no rush. And I cut myself off at the head. Okay, move back a bit. Okay, so you're gonna start at the top of your mat. I'm gonna be flipping in and out so you guys can kind of see all the sides, but we're gonna flow through a sun salutation. Couple different ways to start. You can start with your feet all the way together. Okay, most disciplined way to do it. If that doesn't feel right today, that's fine. You can start with your balls of your feet together and your heels apart, which makes the outside of your feet parallel. If that feels good for you, start there. Or you can start with the inside of your feet parallel if that works for you, which is normally where I start. So we're gonna lift our toes up off the floor just to make sure we're balanced on our feet. Gently place your toes back on the floor. Palms are gonna spiral forward. Belly, we're gonna kind of pull in. Don't tuck the hips, right? But core is tight, shoulders are down. Couple breaths here. You are in mountain pose. When you're ready and you find an inhale, reach those arms all the way back up. On an exhale, the arms go out to a T, and you're gonna hinge forward at the hips. Flat back for as long as you can go, and then we relax over the legs whenever we get there. Bend the knees a little bit. Slide the hands up the shins to a flat back. Called a half lift. So we're going for a long spine here, head to tailbone. You should feel the stretch down the back of the legs. On the exhale, we fold back over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, just bend the knees enough so the fingertips can get to the floor. You're gonna step back with your right foot first to a lunge. Hands go on the floor, left foot steps back, plank. If we need to, on the next exhale, you're gonna drop your knees to the floor, which is perfectly fine. If you wanna stay in full plank, you can stay in full plank. You're gonna shift your weight forward a little bit. Keep those elbows in if you can. If you can't, they can flare out. But if you can, elbows stay in. Slowly use a full exhale to the floor. Tops of the feet go on the mat. Hips and thighs press. Elbows hug. Your thumbs should be about where your armpits are. Think length here, not lift. On the next inhale, top of the head is gonna pull forward. You'll naturally go to a little lift here. Shoulders should be down away from the body. Hands help support. Core stays tight. Good. On an exhale, if you went down on the knees, come up on the knees. Big exhale, tighten the belly when you're ready. You're gonna push up and back to your down dog. Okay, the heels don't have to be at the floor or on the floor. Mine do not reach the floor. You can see them, right? The heels, my heels are lifted. Couple things we want to remember about our down dog. Middle finger pointed straight ahead if we can. Relax the head and neck. The most important part about your down dog is actually your back. So I'm gonna bend your knees a little bit. Then think about lifting your tailbone up towards the sky and then sink the heels down towards the floor. Bigger stretch for the hamstrings. Look at the hands. You're gonna try to get the right foot as close to the right thumb as possible. Step it forward. For a lunge. Good, then you're gonna have that left foot follow. Then you're gonna lift the hips and again, relax over the legs. Bend the knees, belly on the thighs, hands slide up, slowly push and roll it all the way to the top. And we're back to where we started. So again, look at your feet, make sure they're on the same line. Sometimes my feet have a tendency to get a little uneven. Palms forward, shoulders down. Core tight, thighs engaged. Inhale when you're ready, reach those arms back and up. Exhale, hinge forward, relax over the legs. Forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees. Long flat back, half lift. Lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the back, long in the spine. Good, push those hips back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, fingertips on the floor. Left foot's gonna step back first this time. Hands on the mat, right foot's gonna step back. Take an exhale if you need it to drop the knees. Otherwise, stay in that full plank. Shift your weight forward on the next little inhale. Keep the core tight, elbows stay in. Chaturanga down to the floor. Good. Inhale up into your cobra, elbows hug. Roll the shoulders down and back. Long spine, shoulders down. Good. Tuck the toes. You went down on the knees, come up on the knees. Take the belly. Push. Down dog. Walk it out. Again, if you need to. Relax that head and neck. Look at the hands. Left foot's going to step forward first this time to lunge. And then the right foot will follow. Relax over the legs. Bend the knees, hands on the thighs. Push and roll it up nice and slow. Round the back as you go. And we're back to Tadasana. So we're going to do a balance pose next. It's called tree. It's one of the easier balance poses. On your mat, the firmer the surface, the easier your balance pose will probably be. I'm going to start with the right leg. So the right leg's going to balance. You have options in your tree. I'm going to show you options. You guys can just pick wherever you want to go. First option is just across the arch. I hope you can see my feet. I'm too far away and I can't really tell. My left foot is across the arch of my right foot, and that's easier for balance. Below your knee and above your ankle is your next option. Third option is all the way, which I can't do very well, is above the knee. Or you can go in full lotus, which I can't do, or half lotus, I guess. The only thing you don't want to do is put any pressure on the inside part of the knee. So stay away from the inside part of the knee. If you have balance issues and you just cannot stand on one foot, you can go grab a wall and use that for balance. Totally okay. Okay, so when we're ready, right foot's gonna balance, left foot's gonna lift. Think about pulling the core in tight. Okay, if you notice that the hip is kind of jutted out to the side, what you wanna do is squeeze that side and have the foot that's in the air push against the leg that you're balancing on. Hands can come to heart center. The best place to look really is 6 or 8 feet in front of you on the floor, or 6 or 8 feet kind of up at an angle at the sky. You just need to pick the hands in the front of the heart, don't hands out, palms forward also. 2 more breaths. And then you can do 1 or 2 things to come out of your tree. You can shut your eyes, try to gauge your balance, because with your eyes closed, it's a lot harder to balance, and just kind of step out of your tree, or just naturally step out of the tree, shake it out, and we'll do the other side. So left foot balances, or opposite side if you did the other foot, it doesn't matter. Just whatever foot you haven't done. Don't do the same side twice. Okay, again, ideally it'd be the same place you were on the other side, but if that doesn't work for you, you just do what does work. If you notice the hip is pushing out, engage that leg a little more, push the foot on the leg, hands can come to heart center, or just down at your side if that works. Couple breaths here. And then if you want, you can shut the eyes and kind of see if you can balance for a second and then slowly step out of the tree, or you can just step out of the tree and shake it. We're gonna do warriors. Yeah. And I'm just gonna start by going on my mat. One foot's gonna step back. The most important part of your warrior one, which is what we're doing now, is your hips. Your hips need to be square to the front. Okay, so even if that means, ideally, your feet are not on the same line, but kind of in line with your hips. If that means that you need to put your back foot farther out to the side so you can pull those hips around, that's what you need to do. The heel of that back foot should stay on the floor. Okay, so the hips are to the front, that front knee's bent, tracking in the same direction as the front toe. The core is tight, so the top part is like mountain. The bottom part is the part that's different. Arms can come up. That's too much work for your shoulders. They can stay right on the hips. So engage that back leg, push down to the back heel, bend that front knee a little bit. Keep the core tight. We don't want to arch the low back too much. If you want a little more work, on an exhale, keep the bottom half the same. The hands are going to press and you're going to reach back. On the inhale, lengthen back up. Good. Do that 2 more times. Exhale to press. Bottom half doesn't move. Inhale to reach and lengthen. Core stays tight. 1 more time. Exhale, press. Good. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Good. So step that back foot forward. Shake it out. We'll do the other side. I'm going to turn around. You guys can just do the other foot. Other foot's going to step back. So same thing. 3 feet maybe between the feet. Front toe and knee tracking the same direction. Hips though towards the front. So if that means we need to step that back foot out to the side to make that happen, we can do that. Tighter on this side. So for me, I do need to do that a little bit. Core is tight. Shoulders are down. Arms are up or on the hips, whatever works. Front knees bent, back heel and foot are pressing down. Good, when you're ready, exhale, push. Inhale, reach. Good, do that 2 more times. When you're ready, exhale, push. Inhale, reach. Last one whenever you're ready. And then we're just going to step the feet together or closer and shake it out. That was warrior 1. Warrior 2 is a little bigger, right? So instead of a 3-foot step back, you're going to really step back with that foot. And the toe is going to turn out. The front knee and toe are still tracking forward. This time the hips are open to the side. Okay? So we can bend that knee a little more if we want. We want a little more work. Arms are out. My gaze is right over that front middle finger. Core is tight just like it was for warrior 1. And mountain pose. Couple breaths here. If you want more work, you just go a little deeper in that. Just make sure you want to try to keep the shoulders over the hips. We're not leaning forward and leaning back. Hard to do if you don't have a mirror to check yourself. The hand is going to go to the back of the leg. The hand in the front is gonna flip palm up. Again, the bottom half doesn't move, top half reaches. Good, back to warrior two. One more time when you're ready. Hand to the back of the leg, reach up. And arms back down. Now we're just gonna rotate to the other side. So lengthen the foot out. If you need to step the feet together and shake it out, you can. I'm just gonna rotate to the other side. So my front foot is on my back foot, and my back foot is on my front foot. Knee tracking straight ahead again when you bend it. Hips are open to the side. Arms are out, shoulders are down. And if you want a little more work, feel free to bend that leg a little more. Just make sure to keep that back leg activated. Shoulders down, core tight. Back of the hand to the thigh, front palm flips up, reach. Good, arms back parallel. We'll do that one more time. So when you're ready, hand to the back of the thigh, opposite palm reaches up. And arms back to parallel. Good. Lengthen that leg, turn the toe. I'm just gonna heel toe my feet together a couple times and then step my feet together and shake it out. Now, warrior three is a balance pose. So if you notice that your balance is a little off today for whatever reason, feel free to go closer to the wall so you can kind of touch the wall and hold on. Right foot first. I'm actually gonna go this way with this one. Well, I'll start this way. One foot in front of the other. Your front foot's gonna be your balance foot. So make sure that you ground down with that foot. Hands can start at the hips. It's a good way to, easy way to start. What we wanna do is tilt. It's like a teeter-totter, right? Chest comes towards the floor, back foot lifts up. Knee is slightly bent, not locked. Arms can be by the ears. They can stay on the hips, or you can reach the hands down by the side, palms up. If you want a little more work, you would bend that balanced leg a little bit and then push it long. And I'm shaking all over the place. So if you're shaking too, completely normal. One more bend if you're doing that. Bend that leg. Reach it back long. Good. Step back. Or place the foot next to one another. Shake it out. Then we'll do the other side. So other foot in front. You can start with the hands on the hips. If you like the arms by the ears when you start, that's fine too. Little bend in that knee. When you're ready, just teeter-totter forward. Engage that back leg. It's not just hanging out back there, it's actually engaged. Arms again, go wherever you want them to go. And then if you want that work, it's a bend and a lengthen. And if you fall over like I'm sort of kind of going, it's okay. Right? There's no judging. We're just doing our best, whatever our best is today. Shaking all over the place. And then when you're ready, keep the core tight, put the foot down, shake it out. We have a couple more minutes. So we're actually gonna go back to the floor or back to your chair or wherever you wanna take a seat. So if you're in a chair, this is gonna look a little different for you. You're just gonna do one leg at a time. We're actually gonna do two legs at a time. The rest of the class is gonna be on the floor. So I'm gonna move my things so you guys can see me a little better, maybe. So you want straight across, but you want a little space between you and your leg. But you want that first leg that you put down, if you're following me, it's your right leg, to be straight across. Like I have lines in the group exercise floor, and I'm just going with a line. Or you can use the edge of your mat if you have a mat, and that's fine too, because it gives a little extra cushion for your heel on the outside. That back leg or the top leg, if you can get it, you want that big bony thing right on top of the knee. Okay, you might look at me and laugh and go, ha, that's not happening. That's fine. You cannot get that ankle to the knee. You put the foot wherever it works. On the floor, even out to the side is okay. In an ideal world, which my world is far from ideal, my hips would be level and this knee would be down on that foot. Okay. For me, it feels like it's 2 pinches on my hips. Now, it gets bigger quick, but if you want to make the stretch a little bigger, you can lean forward. Just know that it gets bigger fast. Okay, so you don't have to do that part. I'm not going to be joining you. So if you want to lean forward, you can do that, but I won't be joining you. When we're here, we just try to relax, right? So find your breath again. Shut your eyes. Shut your eyes. Smooth the breath back down. Take a couple of smooth breaths if you can find those smooth breaths somewhere. Try to sit up tall. Unless you're leaning forward, then don't obviously sit up tall. But we're trying to be long in the spine here. One more breath. Good, and then that top leg is gonna extend out and the bottom leg's gonna extend out. And then we're just gonna bounce our legs a little bit. Feedback going on my computer. Okay, other side, so same thing. Straight across, but you want a little space between you and your leg. You might notice that one side is way straighter than the other side, and that, again, that's completely okay and absolutely normal. If you want that lean forward, you can lean forward. Otherwise, we are trying to sit up, trying to breathe. Couple breaths here. Good. One more breath. Handle it. Smooth in, smooth out. Good. When you're ready, top leg long, bottom leg long. Bounce it out. Nice and easy. And then you're going to hug the knees and slowly roll down onto the floor or onto your mat. Knees get pulled into the chest. I have a ponytail that kind of throws my neck out of whack, and sometimes you need to be careful. So I'm going to loosen my hair enough so that my head can sit flat on the floor. You can rotate the feet around if you'd like. You can also say no with your head, or add a little side-to-side rock. Sometimes a massage out of the low back and across the hips feels good. We're going to find happy the feet, which is probably one of my favorite poses. So you're going to feet up, bend the knee. You're going to try to touch the feet. If you can't get the feet, grab wherever you can grab. So you can grab the shins. You can even grab right behind the knees, pulling the knees in towards the shoulders. Good. Release the feet. Feet are going to go towards the floor. Arms are going to go out to a T. We're going to keep the feet on the floor. Okay. So then we're going to do a very gentle twist. Keeping the feet on the floor, all you're going to do is let the knees drop to one side. And we're going to bring the knees back up. And we're going to take them over to the other side. If you want to link this to breath, it's inhale, knees up. Exhale, knees to a side. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, knees to the other side. Good, one more time. Or just even it out if you're moving at your own pace, which is completely okay. Then we're going to move it to a little bigger of a twist. So this time, the feet are going to be off the floor. Okay, And the arms are going to stay out, and then you're just going to take the knees over to one side. So that back hand might actually lift off the floor a little bit, and that's okay. What we're trying to do is relax across the chest, relax the shoulders, and just breathe into the stretch. You can look the same direction that the knees are, or look the opposite direction. That's going to change the top part of your twist. Or you can just continue to look up at the sky. That's fine as well. Good. That top knee is going to come up first. Then the bottom knee comes up off the floor. A little gentle hug if you need it. Arms are going to go back out to a T, and then the knees are going to go to the other side. So again, if you looked in one direction or the other, feel free to do that on the side. Relax across the chest and try to breathe into the space. Good. Top knee comes up, bottom knee comes up. Again, if you want a little hug here, a little side to side rock, feel free to do that. Then the feet are going to go back to the floor. I need you to visualize something. Just a second. If you visualize a line that starts at your shoulders, it travels down your torso to your hips. It's going to shoot out the backside of your hips. Your heels and your toes would be on that line, that imaginary line. Okay, the heels don't need to be at the hips. There can be a space, there is with mine, but they need to be on that same line. On an exhale, pull the belly in, push the low back down into the floor, hold it there for just a second. You should notice your tailbone lift slightly. Relax and let it go. We're going to do that again. Exhale, belly in, low back pushes. Tailbone, hold it. Relax and let it go. Now this time we're going to roll up. What I mean is, if you think about how a banana the peel of a banana comes off a banana, that's how I want you to peel your spine off the floor. Keep the core engaged. Exhale, belly in, low back pushes, tailbone lifts. Peel the spine off the floor, lift with the front of the thighs, and push your hips up towards the sky. Keep the core engaged. You don't want to hinge at the low back and hurt. So the thighs are engaged, the core is engaged. Hands can be out or down at an angle, whatever works. If you want to get a little more work out of it, you can bend the elbows and push the elbows into the mat to lift the hips a little higher. You can actually interlace your hands underneath you. I just can't do it. But you can roll a little higher on your triceps if you'd like. Keep the core engaged though. Good, release the hands. Slowly come down the same way you went up. So one vertebra at a time, round the back. Touch the low back before you release the tailbone. Good, and then if you need that gentle hug, which I usually do, pull the knees in towards the chest. And again, I like a little side to side rock. You do not have to, but it feels good to me. And then you're gonna put the feet back on the floor. We're gonna take a couple breaths in Savasana, also known as the corpse pose if you've never done yoga. So you're gonna lengthen the legs all the way out. If this bothers your back with your feet all the way out, you can bend the knees and put the feet right back on the floor, completely okay. The feet are gonna be about the width of your mat, your toes are gonna turn out. Your hands are gonna go not at your sides, but a little bit off at an angle, I would say 45 degrees from the shoulder. Palms are up towards the sky. You wanna find that spot where your shoulder blades are flat on the floor. Then you're gonna rock your head slowly to one side as far as it wants to go. Nice and easy. And then you're gonna take that all the way over to the other side as far as it wants to go that way. And then you're gonna make that no a little quicker and a tiny bit faster each and every time until you find the perfect resting place on the back of your skull. And then we relax. Relax your feet and your legs, your hands and your arms. Relax your jaw. Let your tongue just rest in your mouth. Breathe. Breathe in. And breathe out. Do any small stretches that feel good to you?
What was that noise, Mama?
Bring the knees into the chest. It doesn't matter which side you roll to. If you want your arm for a pillow, just take it up by your ear and roll to a side. Use your hands for support. Push yourself back up. Comfortable seated position. So whatever works, and I'm sure my hair looks fantastic right about now. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you got at least a little bit of a stretch out of this morning. Welcome to yoga. If you've never done yoga before, feel free if you have questions to shoot me emails. I'm sure that there'll be a review or evaluation at the end of this today. Feel free to send me some critiquing if that's what you need. Normally at the end of every yoga class, we just do a little thing. You don't have to do it, but I always do. Hands go to our heart and we say namaste. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. It was nice seeing you.
Thank you.